Hey guys, this is Shay. I run Northeast Designs. Just wanted to give you guys a little rundown on the Kitsune. So the Kitsune is a compact Springer pistol. It's pretty much what I think of as a printed hobby grade recreation of something like a DCP Mark II mechanism, just in a printed shell with more substantial parts, easier to maintain, and actually a little cheaper if you buy the kit. And obviously I tried to give it my own sort of design flair on top of it. You can probably see where the name Kitsune comes from. I'll be firing it over the chronograph at the end of this video. If that's all you're interested in, you can jump to this timestamp. So I'm going to show you its cycling first. So you prime by pulling back on the literal fox ears, and you can see it there. You can see the darts in there, so it works just like a DCP pretty much. Got nice little foam pads on the T-pull. That's standard with the kit. Got some foam pads on the trigger mechanism too for your wrist. Trigger mechanism itself is the same sort of design as what I use on the Chimera. It's just heavily miniaturized to fit in this form factor. There are two options for the grip. There's no hardware differences between them, so it's just up to you, whatever files you print for the mags you use. The one on the blaster is a Worker Nightingale grip, and it's pretty slim for a mag and grip. If you have smaller hands, this is what I'd recommend. But if you already have a bunch of Worker angled talon magazines and you don't really want to invest in new mags, I did design a angled talon magazine. So the Nightingale magwell uses a push button mag release right on the side there. The angled talon magazine just uses a spring detent in the back just because of space constraints. So it's a prototype. It's a little sticky, but works pretty good. So you just kind of shove it in and it'll lock into place, and to get it out, you just pull it out. And obviously this grip is a fair bit larger than the Nightingale grip, just because of the dimensions of the talon magazines. For me, keep in mind, I have fairly large hands, so for me, it's okay. I still much prefer the Nightingale grip, but if you do have smaller hands, I would highly recommend investing in Nightingale mags, because you may have issues with this grip. But if you have the hands to use it, and you already have the mags, it is a very valid option. There are two options for barrels on the Kitsune. With the standard barrel is .509 ID, 5.75 inches, aluminum, obviously. And then there's an optional long barrel, which is 9.25 inches in length and the same .509 internal diameter. It's very easy to swap out barrels. It's just a threaded collet on the muzzle that you pull off. You pull out the barrel, and then there's a little O-ring on the barrel. That's what actually locks it in. Then you take a different barrel, put it in, make sure it seats into the turn down inside, and then just tighten it on, and you're good. The standard length 5.75 barrel, you should expect around 165, maybe 170 FPS. With the long barrel, you should expect between 185 to maybe 200 FPS. I have seen on a couple times on my prototype when it was perfectly dialed, I was seeing about 215 to 220 feet per second. I wouldn't say that's representative, but if you do build the blaster very well and you have a very good seal, I would say over 200 with the long barrel is definitely possible. Although obviously you do sacrifice a bit of the compactness with the lengthened barrel. And here's the holster you probably saw me using in the intro to this demonstration. It's a fully printed holster. You get all the hardware you need to build it with the hardware kit, and the files are included in the file set. So it's fully printed, it's perfectly modeled to fit the blaster, and it's a belt, sort of belt loop style holster. I don't know if that's the correct terminology, but it'll fit on any belt or any rig that this sort of thing can fit on. You can rotate the holster body 360 degrees and to wherever it'll work best for you, and then lock it down with that screw. And yeah, and you can see there's little nubs on the side of the Kitsune, which actually correspond to little latches inside the holster. So you actually get a nice positive click into the holster. It's not held in hard at all. It's very smooth, and because of those notches, it's not going to fly out or anything, but when you give it a yank, it comes out. Blaster uses the same coated metal catch components that I use on the Venturi and the Chimera, so it should be nice and reliable for a long time. And lastly, before I do the performance check, I just wanted to show you guys a skeleton of the Kitsune's frame, give you an idea of how it works and how it's constructed. So the main backbone of the blaster is these two 1/2-inch aluminum bars. Those run the whole length of the blaster, and those serve two main purposes. First, they give you a very solid platform, very strong blaster, and secondly, it gives the plunger tube, or the whole plunger action, a smooth guide to ride against. So the whole plunger tube cycles along the length of the blaster, just like a DZP Mark II, and the aluminum bars give it a nice smooth surface to ride along. So it's not like this thing is riding on printed parts and you're going to get that terrible screeching noise every single time you prime it. It's got a nice metal guide. And to give you guys a little visualization for how it works, how the blaster works in general. So if you imagine the blaster's right here, the grip will be about right here, and the mag will go right about here. So it's a little bit tricky to do this. I'll see if I can, but I think you guys get the idea. So the whole plunger cycles darts through the mag and then into the barrel, which goes here, obviously. And with that, let's finally fire up the chronograph, shoot a few downrange, and see what it does. All right, and I forgot to mention at the end of the last section, by the time this video is out, the blaster kits will be released on my site. It's NEDesignsCS.xyz. The kits are $47.99 base, and then it's plus $12.99 if you want the long barrel, and it's plus $19.99 if you want both the short barrel and the long barrel. You can see in the description a direct link to buy them. Now I just want to mention, don't take these numbers as concrete. The blaster is finished, it is ready for the public, but I think there is more headroom in terms of more tuning, and I think there's definitely a little bit more performance to get from it. So let's start off the chronograph test. Starting off with the short barrel. Shot 1, 152, 164, 159, 169, nice, 160. I'm going to switch to the long barrel real quick. Alright, long barrel, shot 1. 207, wow, nice. 191. And I'm out of darts. Let me go grab. Alright, got a couple more darts now. Long barrel. 213, sheesh. 214, oh, never mind. 176, error. Alright, last shot. 201. Alright. Alright, and with that, I think that's all you guys really need. I'm gonna go edit this video for probably 7 days, and yeah, give me money.